Hey guys, this is section 15B. We're moving on a little bit with angles, learn a little more about them. We'll do a little math with them now. I'm finally starting to get down to some little bit of fun stuff. First, let's go over 3 vocabulary words. So an angle bisector, as you can probably guess, is a line, ray, or segment that bisects or it cuts an angle in half. Okay, and when I say half, I mean 2 congruent parts. Anytime you hear the word bisect, your brain should be going to, okay, that means 2 things are equal, whether it's 2 angles, 2 segments, 2 somethings are equal if you're bisecting something. Protractor postulate tells you that all angles can be paired with a measure of 0 to 180. 0 to 180, and therefore it can be measured with a protractor. I wouldn't worry too much about spending all your time learning that, but we do need to say it. The angle addition postulate, guys, it says if P is in the interior of angle RST, then angle RSP plus angle PST equals angle RST. Now this is something kind of like the segment addition postulate. You need to know. You need to put it in your back pocket. You need to memorize it. You need to understand it. Okay, I know it's kind of, all these words make it a little hard, so let's draw this out. So if P is in the interior of angle RST, so let's draw angle RST first. So here's angle R, this is S, this is T, and P is, I don't know, somewhere here in the middle. Okay, so if P is in the middle, let's go ahead and draw this. Okay, so this postulate tells us if this is the scenario we have, then angle RSP, so this angle, plus angle PST plus this angle is going to equal angle RST, so this whole angle. So if we take the 2 parts of the angle, add them together, it equals the whole angle. And here's just kind of a visual of that. All right, let's look at example 4 now and apply this angle addition postulate. All right, so part A says, given that angle LKN, so we're talking about this whole big angle, the 2 parts together, is equal to 145 degrees. That's what it tells us right here. LKN equals 145. Okay, we want to find the measure of angle LKM, which is this angle, and the measure of MKN, which is this angle here. Okay, so once again, back to the angle addition postulate. The 2 parts of the angles together make the whole angle. 2 parts added equals the whole. So the 2 parts, so the 2x plus 10 plus the 4x minus 3 is going to equal the 145. Okay, so I have 2x plus 10 plus 4x minus 3 equals 145. I'm adding this angle and it equals the whole big angle. So 2x plus 4x is 6x, 10 minus 3 is plus 7. Guys, we've taken a geometry problem and now turned it into algebra. So 6x equals 138 divided by 6. X then equals 23. Now in algebra, you get 23, you're done, woohoo! That is not the case in geometry. It didn't say solve for x. It said find the measure of angle LKM and the measure of angle MKN. Okay, so if we look at LKM, that's this green angle right here. We know this is 2x plus 10. Okay, well now we know x, so let's plug it in. So 2x is 23 plus 10, so this is 46, and so LKM is 56 degrees. Okay, now let's look at the other angle. Let's look at angle MKN. So this is 4x minus 3, but we know x is 23. If we put that into my calculator, that equals 89 degrees. So this is 89 degrees. Now, if we want to be smart and double check ourselves, which if you have time, it's never a bad idea, 56 plus 89, put that in your calculator, 145, which is exactly what we wanted. All right, let's look at problem B now. If we read problem B, it says, given that the measure of angle KLM is a straight angle, there's our key word right there. There's our vocabulary word. That's our key to success. Find the measure of angle KLN and the measure of angle NLN. All right, so I'm asking you, if something is a straight angle, so angle KLM, so here, 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 what does that tell you about the measure of it? All right, so now that we know that the measure of the whole thing is 180 degrees, we know by the angle addition postulate that if I add the two smaller angles, it's going to equal the 180 degrees. So let's set up an equation. So 10x minus 5 plus 4x plus 3 equals 180. 10x plus 4x, so 14x minus 2 equals 180. Ooh. Add 2, 14x equals 182. Divide by 14. So I get x equals 13. Now, once again, in algebra, would be done, would celebrate, yay. Geometry, we're not done. We have this question here to answer. Don't forget that. Most of my chapter 1 tests, that's one of the biggest point missers, or whatever you want to call it, is people forget to plug it in. All right, so if x is 13, well, this is 10x, which is 13, minus 5. So 130 minus 5, this is 125 degrees. So measure of angle KLN, 125 degrees. And then this over here is 4x, which is 13, plus 3. 4x plus 13, so that's 52. Plus 3 is 55 degrees, so this is 55 degrees. Now to double check ourselves, if we add these two, we do get 180. All right, now I want you to read through C and try to figure it out on your own, try to set it up and solve it on your own, and then we'll go over it. All right, so hopefully you were able to figure this out on your own. Let's go over it so you can see how you did. So first thing we want to do is read it. So given that measure of angle EFG, so let's look, EFG is a right angle, find the measure of angle EFH and the measure of angle HFG. Okay, so now you want to ask yourself, what does it mean to be a right angle? You guys should know that a right angle is 90 degrees. So this whole thing is 90 degrees, which we should have been able to tell by this square, even if they wouldn't have told us in these words. The whole angle is a 90-degree angle. So if we add the two angles that make up this 90-degree angle together, it should equal 90. So 2x plus 2 plus x plus 1 equals 90. Okay, so 2x and x is just 3x, plus 2 plus 1 is 3. Subtract 3 from both sides, 3x equals 87. Ooh, 87. Divide by 3, I get x equals 29. Now, most of you are going to circle that. Yay, we're done. Stop and rewind. We are not done. The question said, find the measure of each of these angles. All right, so measure of EFH is 2x plus 2. So 2, we know our x is 29, plus 2, that means this is 60 degrees. Measure of angle EFH equals 60 degrees. And then the measure of HFG is x plus 1. So x is 29 plus 1, 30 degrees. So this is 30 degrees. And then of course, if we add 60 plus 30, that does equal 90. So we should be good. All right, let's look at example 6 now. It says ray QS bisects angle PQR, and that the measure of angle PQS is 24. All right, so part A, we want to sketch the figure. Okay, so QS bisects angle PQR. We want to sketch this. All right, so first I want to write PQR. And remember, if Q's in the middle, that means it has to be the vertex. So P could be up here. Let's just say it's right here. And R's down here. If you wanted to have R up top and P down below, that's fine too. All right, so QS bisects angle PQR. So we have P angle PQR. We just need that ray QS bisects it. So bisect means it cuts it directly in half. And it's a ray. So I'm going to say this is QS. So QS bisects angle PQR. So here's a sketch of what's circled in blue. Okay, now the measure of PQS, which is PQS, this angle right here, is 24 degrees. So I'm just going to write 24 degrees. All right, that is, that's the sketch. All right, now I'm going to ask you, what does it mean to bisect? So remember that anytime we say something bisects something, it cuts it in two equal parts. So that means that this angle here is equal to this angle here. Okay? So find the measure of angle SQR. Well, SQR is this angle right here. Well, angle SQR is congruent to this angle, therefore it is 24 degrees. Okay, so the second part of part B says find the measure of PQR, which is this big angle. Well, guys, that's just the two smaller angles put together. So this is 48 degrees. All right, let's look at our last example. This is example number 7. I want you to attempt to do this one on your own, and then we'll go over it. All right, so measure of angle MNP is a straight angle. So here's a straight angle. We'll let N be there, N be there, and P be there. All right, so MNP is a straight angle. That's written below. NQ, and this should be a ray symbol. I know it's very, very hard to tell, and on your notes you probably can't. But it bisects MNP. So it cuts this equally into two parts. So I'm going to put it up like that. And don't forget to name your point Q. All right. So now I've taken care of this. Draw angle MNP and NQ. I just did. And because this bisects it, that means this angle and this angle are the same. So I'm going to put like arc marks. All right, find the angle measures of these congruent angles. So these two angles are congruent. And remember, a straight angle is 180 degrees. Okay, so these two added together equals 180. Well, this shouldn't be too bad. 180 divided by 2 is 90. So that means this has to be a 90-degree angle. And that has to be 90-degree angle. And that's it for section 1.5b.